Hello everyone, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play Quest for Glory 2, the VGA remake, The Thief Path. Well, since last chapter I just walked across this tightrope twice and have now bested Agi the Agile. You're too good, I've already lost all the money I can afford to lose. So we now have 12 golden dinars compared to what we had before, and more impressively, our agility is now up to 149. But with that done, we will go ahead and enter the guild hall and find that Rakesh is in here today. Ah, this be the new hero, Rakesh. You are most welcome in Shapir. The Sultan has been seeking heroes since the force of dark magic overwhelmed Razir. So we can go ahead and greet, tell about Spielberg. I don't think we get any new options here. But we can go into the training area, and we will get the benefit of Rakesh's wisdom this time as we train. And if you're a fighter, you can spar with Rakesh, but since he is not a knife fighter, he will not fight a thief. Sorry. The sword is the finest of weapons. It requires both skill and strength in order to wield correctly. Your physical strength determines the damage dealt by your blows, but power only makes a difference if you are at least as good a swordsman as your opponent. Skill is what really matters in combat. A talented swordsman can adapt his style the second situation requires it. If somebody only depends on physical power in combat, he may be better off wielding a club. A dagger is capable of doing large amounts of damage, but it can still be deadly in the hands of an experted wielder. They can also double as projectiles. I personally do not prefer their use. Training is vital to a warrior's prowess. You can afford to make mistakes and learn from them. In real combat, making mistakes will leave you too gravely injured or even dead. In order to become a warrior in Ahura's tribe, one must be speedy, accurate, and agile. This is easily recognized in her fighting style. Ahura mostly depends on her agility and mobility to get the better of her opponents. Properly evading or blocking Ahura's attacks should be the first thing on your mind at all times. Attack when you see an opening, but be prepared for counterattacks. Even though you are not versed in swordsmanship, you have excellent skills with a dagger. Mix in offensive and defensive tactics and throw in the occasional long-range attack. Keep the enemy guessing what your next action will be. There are several techniques that can aid you in battle. Proper use of each of them is the key to victory. When mounting an offense, a plunge can be used to follow up a swing for additional damage. When you are forced to jump back to avoid damage, your instincts may trigger the leaping lunge. The lunge is useful as a surprise attack, but only someone who has mastered his weapon will be able to use it at will. The lunge depends more on instinct than anything else. The leaping lunge cannot be employed directly, but will be randomly activated when jumping back. The plunge is a quick and easy maneuver whenever your swing connects. Repeated plunges can make up the difference in damage you need. To do the plunge, tap 9 during the last part of a swing. And I'm sorry about a little of the art of fighting with a dagger, thus would not be an appropriate sparring partner for you. But he still does give us the advice for how we can do a special move, and we'll offer similar advice the more we train here. So go ahead and get one quick match in with Ahura. Start to get the hang of being able to attack her. And I think that may do it for us. And we'll go and do some dodging to wear our stamina down. Keep your enemy guessing what your next action will be. Daggers are incapable of inflicting large wounds, but their lightweight makes it easier to string attacks together. Next time you fight, try following up a swing with a plunging attack. This will compensate for the limited damage your weapon can do. Dodging attacks be good, but against multiple enemies you may run out of room quickly. If you get into a fight with a pack of jackmen, protect your flanks by kicking approaching foes in the chest while focusing on the main attacker. Execute the sidekick by pressing keypad 5 when an enemy is near your flank or back. Jumping back is often the most inefficient way to defend yourself, as you give up terrain and you'll be left in a position where a quick counterattack is not an option. Yet by using your instincts you will be able to launch the occasional counterattack against your foes, doing large amounts of damage. When you avoid attacks by jumping backward, the leaping lunge may be triggered at random. Being on your feet is better on being on the ground. You can attack while on the ground. While being hit, use agility to land on your feet and keep your guard up. Execute the backflip by pressing keypad down 2 or E as you're being knocked off your feet. All good advice there. You spend an hour swapping adventuring stories over Kish and Uhura. And I think after that, it's still midday. But I think we've had enough combat training. And I think we've got enough money that we can go ahead and afford a spare water skin now. And that cloth bag, which we will need eventually. Go ahead and greet. Make a purchase. And we're talking down to 80 on the water skin. I'll go with 35. My nephew, Shamin the innkeeper, said that you were smooth of tongue. Very well, you have the bag for only 49 centimes. Shall we say 40? And we get points for buying the cloth bag. Its use will become apparent later. Well, that leaves us with only one other plaza, and let's see, strength 108, agility 151, weapon use 110, dodge 105, communication 118. We still have the Plaza of the Palace. And then there is the palace itself, but the guards are too busy guarding the palace to listen to you. The finest of all the carpets in all the land, I have your perusal, hero of the north. Greet. I am Tiram, and my family make the carpets. I sell the finest of rugs, hand-woven by my family. This merchant's prices are all too high. Because, yeah, we're in the high-rent district of Shapir here, and we cannot afford any of this. Anyway. The desert heat appears to be getting to you, hero friend. Anyway, name. I am called Sashana, which means diamond of a desert. I have many types of necklaces and bracelets, but my specialty is to sell the jewelry best suited to the customer. I believe, O hero, that for you I have a pin. Let's get the pin. Here is a pin with a sapphire of exceeding clarity and color, like that of your eyes, and a simple but elegant gold setting with the color like that of your hair. It would be a gift worthy of a sultan. Unfortunately, this merchant's prices are also too high. But we have now talked to every one of the merchants in town and are a close enough distance that we can go and visit one more place of note. And we'll go ahead and sneak there since we have to go through the side streets to do it. But mention was made of an astrologer we could talk to seek our fortune, and it's right here on the Street of Stars. Come in, Hassan, come in. Oh, that's not you, is it? It's hard for me to tell from such a distance. Come in anyway, and welcome. I am Abu al-Jinn, and I am the astrologer of the stars and omens. Who are you that I might know you? What might I call you? Ah, Matt, it is indeed a name of heroes. It is well that you have come, then. The signs show that we will soon need a hero here. Okay. Go ahead and greet. Welcome, may the stars shine upon you. Oh, what the heck. Most interesting. The stars say nothing about you having a sudden illness. I'll have to look into that. Ask about Abu. I've been stargazing since I was little. There is so much to learn from astrology. Astrology is based on the principle of as above, so below. The heavens reflect the earth and vice versa. My job is to reveal the future to those who seek it. Perhaps you wish to know your own fortune. If you wish to know your fortune, I will need to know your guiding signs. Tell me about your past and some of the things you have done. We can tell about Spielberg. You have lived a most interesting life. I will look into what signs have guided your life thus far and see how they will affect you in the future. This will take many hours, so you need to come back some other day. And it's about Razier. The Dark Hand is over Razier now. Its ruling planet has been missing since it passed across the dragon. The hands which shape the hand signify action. When the hand is dark, it means oppression. The dragon is a sign of vast magical power. So whatever is messing around with Razier is magical. Well, no surprise there. The Eye of the Shadow is over the city. The Dark Hand is moving toward us. There will be misfortune here shortly. Eye of the Shadow. The planet known as the Eye has crossed the sign of the Shadow. The Shadow is watching us. And who knows what evil lurks? I sure don't. The Shadow knows. I visit the palace each morning to tell of the night's events. The Sultan, may his name be printed on the stars, consults with me regularly. I talk to the stars, and the things they tell me are more than mere rumor. The relationship with the stars influences our lives constantly. The stars are all out of place compared to Spielberg. Where the heck is this place? He used to have a magic 8-ball that performed much the same function as this dartboard. It's only a model of the planetary system. It isn't the real thing. Let's see. P plus explosion. No, wait. Plus kaboom. Oh, heck, you're never any good at these things anyway. Actually, that would be P kaboom minus M. So P kaboom. I see water. I see U. Although the U looks more like an omega. Anyway. If you need to know more about the future, visit me when it arrives. For future events such as these will affect you in the future. Thank you, Criswell. And I'll get in a quick bit of lockpicking practice. I just got to notice that we are so exhausted that we need a rest. Let's see, that makes it mid-afternoon. And we're currently Honor is 56, Stealth 116, Picklocks 135, Agility 154, Vitality and Intelligence all up. And you'll note that my luck has not gone up a point in all of this. Well, I think we've got time enough to go and visit one more person. It's the last stop on our places to visit in Shapir, but the best place to get to them is from... Actually, we could do the North Plaza, but I know the way best from here. So a little bit more sneaking through the side streets. Don't worry, apart from hunting Easter eggs, this is the last time we'll have to do this. And that one's Earth Avenue. But the last location we need to find is the home of the Enchantress Aziza, who will offer us a fair bit of advice on the magical threats we are going to be facing. And we just follow Shamal Tarek North Street around until we find a place where we can go west. And it should be noted, you can find exactly where you are on the map if you don't want to automatically teleport someplace. But this is our direction. And yeah, Sit Tarek, Lady Street. And yep, the eye, the sign of magic. The door seems to be watching you. Which means us sneaking up would probably not be the best thing. And yes, you can listen at door, open door, knock on door. Politeness pays, especially with Aziza. So we'll go ahead and knock on the door. Who is it that seeks to enter? Who is it that sent you here? And you can name a few people, but let's go with keep on. What is the element that is most appropriate to the owner of the magic shop? Well, that would be air. My first is the first, my second the last. Next comes myself. Then back to the end and beginning again. Who am I? Well, easy riddle. First is A. The second is Z. Next comes myself, I. Then back to the end, Z, and beginning again. So, A-Z, I-Z-A. You may enter freely into my home, Matt. Come in, sit down, and we shall speak. Well, first, greet. Welcome. It is good to have a visitor who understands the proper way to enter conversation. Yeah, the whole politeness thing is especially important with Aziza because, well, sorceresses get offended easily. Shall we share tea? And answer yes. The tea is cool and refreshing. You find yourself relaxing as you drink and listening to the sound of flowing water. Now that we have shared tea, what is it for which you have come? And we can look around a bit. Aziza's beauty in no way masks her intensity, purposelessness, and the aura of power around her. It is good when in her presence to be on your best behavior, so don't try and kiss her. Aziza has more fish tanks had more fish tanks during the age of aquariums. There are all sorts of odds and ends on the shelf. For instance, you see a leftover hero sandwich. Water-based paints, freeze-dry tea, just add water. Amazing, somebody put a computer in a bottle. How do they do that? You see a bug in a bottle, a gratuitous goblet, a porpoiseless purpose, moisturizing shampoo, squirt bottle. Aziza keeps an indoor pond. My name means highly prized. It was the name of my mother. Aziza's magic. My magic is very practical. I know many things that go on in this land. Unfortunately, Razir has been closed to my far-seeing since the Emir vanished. Soon I will try a different type of spell to see if I can gain more information. The magic I work with most is water magic. That is knowledge and true seeing. As water can reflect, I too can reflect spells back upon the caster. There is much magic in this land, some of a very dark nature. Magic can be misused for ill purposes. A foe can seem to be a friend, and the victim is helpless against the foe. The more powerful the magic, the more likely they can be used for evil purposes. My spells allow me to see things at a distance and to know their true nature. And she does not do gossip, so yeah. This city was built around the magic fountain which flows freely, is protected by the mountains and the desert, and has known only peace and prosperity until now. You would know more about the end than I. Let's see, fountain. The magical fountain is a symbol for our city. Keepon's magical abilities are great, but his style is much too childish. Still, if you must purchase his sort of toy magic, his shop is the place to visit. The astrologer is fond of making predictions of things to come. Some of the things of which he speaks actually come to pass. The Qadar are clever people. They work only at things they enjoy. The Sultan Harun al-Rashid is a most wise ruler. He often consults me for information about things. He has a good deal of understanding about his people, and he knows how best to use them. He is doing everything in his power to prevent the ill omens from coming to pass. Razir was like a twin to Shapir until a year ago this month. The Emir Aras was overthrown and disappeared. His brother now sits upon the throne. There is a darkness over the city I cannot see through with all my magic. The Emir Aras was a foolish man who ruled more of his heart than his head. There was magic involved in his disappearance. Since he has been gone, the city of Razir has fallen into hard times, and many have fled the new tyranny. When I try to use Farsi upon the city of Razir, as though it is wrapped in a web of blackness which I cannot see through. The Ifrit make their hot desert sands their home. They are seldom seen. The Jinn are powerful magic beings who roam this land. There are 5 types of Jinn: Jan, Jinn, Shaitan, Ifrit, and Marid. Jinn are powerful and rule the air, living in the clouds. Jinn are seldom seen. They take the shape of animals and hide in the mountains to avoid outsiders. The Shaitan prefer streams and waterways. The Ifrit are associated with fire and as such prefer the desert. Most powerful and magical are the Marid, and the master of the Marid is Abilis. Abilis once sought to rule the world and create a great city in the middle of the desert, but Suleiman bin Daud summoned all the Jinn to rise against Iblis. Iblis was bound in a statue, and his mighty city was destroyed to become his tomb. Did everybody get that very important plot information? Okay, well, one nice thing about the remake is that it was possible to sequence break the game a bit and ask Aziz about things before they became relevant. And I'm not going to do that this time because I like the way that it paces the game a bit better, but I am going to ask her about one thing. Perhaps it would be as well to show you as well as to tell you about such things. There are 4 basic elements which make up the universe: water, earth, air, and fire. An elemental is formed when magic shapes an element into a semblance of a living creature. Elementals are very powerful and destructive. They can be weakened by the contrary element, but they cannot be destroyed. Once weakened, the elemental can be captured. Once captured, the magical nature of the element can be used for helpful rather than harmful purposes. And with that done, thank Aziza, and say goodbye. It has been a pleasure conversing with you. Perhaps we shall share tea another sometime. So yes, now we have her house on our map, and that's pretty much all we need to worry about as far as locations go for the fief. Of course, that's pretty much all the locations we have. So I am going to go ahead and close this chapter out here, do a little bit of fief training off camera, and next time we should be ready to take on our first fief job in Shapir. See you then.